So have you ever asked your teenager, your daughter or your son, did you brush your teeth? Did you put on deodorant? Did you shower? And they immediately say yes, but you know they didn't. If that's happening in your home, you are not alone. Many parents become frustrated when preteens and teens suddenly stop taking care of their basic hygiene and then lies about it. But here's something important. The lying is often collateral damage. It's not usually the real problem. The real problem is, why has a child who never needed reminders, before, suddenly become resistant to taking care of their own body? In today's video, we're going to be talking about why preteens and teens resist hygiene, the connection between hygiene and body autonomy, why they sometimes lie about it, what to say instead of nagging, when to step back and let natural consequences teach, and how to help new hygiene habits actually stick. So before we dive in, let me introduce myself. If you haven't met me, my name is Ayanate Njoku. I'm a certified family life parent, preteen and teen coach. I help parents become intentional in their parenting journey, sharing daily tips from my expertise, experience, books I've authored, coaching sessions for you as a parent and your preteens and your teens, helping them build the social skills that they need to function in today's world. So this is a job that I do online, and offline. So I've seen firsthand concerns like this from parents. So let's dive into what we have for today. So a parent is saying, my preteen or teenager isn't taking care of their hygiene and they're lying about it. What should I do? There are many points to this, but let's start from why does this happen? One of the biggest mistakes parents make is assuming their child is being lazy or disrespectful or difficult. Sometimes that's what it looks like on the surface, but often something deeper is happening. Think about it. A child who used to simply just get dressed, brush their teeth, hop into the bath, now enters puberty. Suddenly there are new expectations. So there's deodorant, there's for girls, and boys, face washing, acne care, hair care, menstrual hygiene, more frequent showers. These are entirely new routines, and sometimes kids feel overwhelmed by all of it. For them, it can feel like, one more thing I have to do. This takes too much effort. I'd rather be doing something else, What seems simple to us can feel like a huge burden to them. That's one of the reasons. The second reason is body autonomy, and power struggle. Another reason hygiene becomes a battle is body autonomy. Puberty is often the first time young people truly realize, this is my body is changing, my body is growing. And with these realizations can come resistance. They may now consciously think this, but their behavior says it. They may not consciously think this, but their behavior says this. I don't want people telling me what to do with my body. Stop checking up on me, stop controlling me. The issue isn't always deodorant or brushing teeth. The issue becomes control. And once it becomes a power struggle, everyone loses. I've talked about this a lot of times, on my page. The more parents push, the more some kids, dig in and stand on their points. And another point is, some kids don't want to deal with puberty. That's the third reason. This is something we don't talk about enough. Some young people genuinely don't want to deal with the changes happening in their body. They're confused. For some girls, puberty can be uncomfortable. They may struggle with acne, body odor, periods, breast development, feeling self-conscious. And then ignoring hygiene can sometimes be a way of avoiding these changes. It's not that they don't know. It's that they don't want to think about it. They don't want to deal with it. If I don't deal with it, maybe I don't have to face it. So that's how, they think about it. So these are some of the reasons, why this thing happens. And then the mom was like, so then why do they lie about it? Let's talk about lying now. Many parents get stuck here. They think, so why are they lying? But you need to remember, the lying is usually not the problem. Like I said at the beginning, often the lying is simply an attempt to still avoid either conflict, they're trying to escape a lecture, an argument, feeling embarrassed, being reminded again and again. And if you look at it, I have an ebook on that, why my child lies and what to do about it. There are different kinds of lying. This lying isn't usually a calculated, deception. It's often an avoidance lie. So did you brush your teeth? Yes, because they don't want another conversation. So instead of focusing entirely on the lie, ask questions like, what is keeping my child stuck? That's where the real solution, lies. And then now for the strategy, one of the strategies I'll give parents is don't corner them. And this is one of the strategies I like, and I used to work with the young people I work with. If you already know they didn't do it, don't ask a question that gives them an opportunity to lie. And in that ebook, I said it, sometimes we are the ones that create opportunities for our children to lie. So instead of, did you shower? Try, I can tell you didn't shower today. I'm wondering what's getting in the way. Can you notice the difference? You're not, cornering them. You're inviting them into problem solving. You might also say, part of growing up is learning to take care of your body independently. When you were younger, I used to bath you, do all the good stuff for you. This is your responsibility now. This is how you show me that you're growing, But we're also here to help you succeed. Help them understand, what's making this difficult. This approach, preserves connection while still holding expectation. And then someone will say, another parent will say, should I just let it go? Some parents, ask, should I just wait until her friends notice? Honestly, sometimes natural consequences can be, parents' superpower. It can be powerful teachers. Many young people become more aware of hygiene when maybe friends had made comments, locker room situation becomes uncomfortable. They become interested in fitting into socially. And yes, sometimes these developmental switches flip naturally. But I wouldn't completely abandon guidance. The job is still to coach, to support. The goal is not to shame them into caring. The goal is to help them develop, lifelong self-care habits. They may not realize they smell. They may not realize they smell. People get used to smell very quickly. It's called habitation. After a short period of time, our brains, stop noticing familiar odors. So your daughter may genuinely, or son may genuinely not realize that they smell. What is obvious to everyone else may not be obvious to them. That's why comments like, how can you not smell yourself, usually aren't helpful. The answer is sometimes they truly don't smell themselves. So what are we going to do? We're going to help the habit stick. So instead of constant reminders, we're going to focus on building system, asking questions like, where does showering fit into your day? What's the plan for remembering deodorants? Will the checklist help? Do you want to put on a phone reminder? I can help you do that. I can stay with you while you do that. Help them create routines that become automatic. Remember, we aren't trying to force compliance. We're helping them build skills they'll need for adulthood. So if your child is struggling with hygiene and lying about it, try to remember this. The issue is usually bigger than soap, deodorant, or brushing teeth. It can be body autonomy, it can be puberty, it can be avoidance, it can be overwhelmed, it can be new routines, it can be wanting independence. And instead of focusing on the lie, get curious about what's keeping them stuck. Because when we understand the reason behind the behavior, we can respond in ways that actually help our children grow. If you're parenting a preteen and you want more support navigating challenges like this, subscribe to my channel. Share this video with another parent who needs it. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Has hygiene ever, become a battle in your home, and what has helped? I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day.